Hello, 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 and welcome to yet another completely unprofessional unboxing. Scott here, and I am back from Gen Con. Um, Still recouping. It takes a lot out of you, apparently, a lot more than expected. It is a younger man's game as far as the stamina that is concerned, that it takes to make your way through all of Gen Con. But anyhow, I'm back. Slowly on the mend. No sickness, no illness, no COVID, thankfully. Have definitely tested for it and came back negative, so that is a plus. But with that comes a lot of other things that I need to deal with here in regards to Gen Con. We've got a live stream coming up on Titterpigs. We've got a recap of the Ennies on the Titterpigs podcast also. And I have a lot of unboxing to get caught up on. There's quite a few things that I've stacked up here while I was gone, a lot of exciting things that I can't wait to take a look at and open. But this one right here is a priority because the author creator reached out to me before I went to Gen Con and had asked me if I would take a look at this, which circumstantially I had already ordered it. So there was really no issue of me taking a look at it. It was just moving this to the top of the pile so I can put some eyes on this, but very happily so. So, not going to waste a lot of time talking about Gen Con. You can hear about all of that on the Titterpigs podcast and the live stream coming up here in a few days. But for now, I just need to get back into the swing of things here on my own channel, and hopefully might be able to see if I can get some people here. That'd be nice. Maybe have some people come on to this channel and give their impressions. A short little chat or whatever, just nothing, long or extended, but, some people, some friends that I saw there, and just see what their experience was like, compared to my own, being, one, my first time there, and two, having a lot of friends come over here from the UK to visit Gen Con for their first time. But back to what we have here. So, we have here is something relatively new. The author you will know once I go ahead and reveal it here in a minute. But I'm excited to take a look at this. I wish I was able to do it before Gen Con, but it arrived after I'd left. So here we are, rambling again. Real quick, apologize for the sound quality. If it sounds off, I've recently moved my location here to a different part of the upstairs after the water damage repair was done. New carpet was laid out, so I'm still fiddling with the sound quality, still fiddling with the location of the cameras and everything, trying to find the sweet spot like I had previously. So if this one doesn't look quite right or sound quite right, bear with me as I get my bearings and adjust things. So here we go. What do we have here? And let me just, as I slide this out here, I just want to make sure there's no personal stuff in here as I slide away from the microphone. Is this personal stuff? Yes, it is. All right, boom. Okay, and let's get this little bad boy open here. And once again, let me know if there's any issues with the sound because, a lot of the once equipment is moved to a different location, the sound changes drastically. The lighting, the angles of the cameras and everything. So hopefully. At least I got it back on relatively well, and I can fine tune it as it goes on. And if you hear some noise in the background, that's my AC kicking on because it's 105 degrees in Southern California right now and will be for almost the entire week. Okay. So, all right. Well, what do we have here? What do we have is Diogo Nogueira's Primal Quest. Primal Quest Essentials, I should say. A lot of you have probably seen this. Diogo has been, spreading the word about his rules light, weird stone and sorcery adventure game. A lot of you have already purchased it. A lot of you have looked at it, and I'm not, not a little late in the game. It's just I was gone when this arrived. So some of you may have already had some experience with this, at the very least, page through it. I have not, but let's take a look at what's in here and see if this might be something that, if you haven't seen it yet, you might be interested in. So we have here a nice little sheet of character sheets. Sorry. It's going to be a struggle through a few of these as my brain kind of, realigns with reality and, deals with the the exhausted nature of still recouping from that wondrous event in Indianapolis. So, character sheets. We have a nice little pad of character sheets. This seems to be an ongoing thing with a lot of the OSR things. I've noticed that they are providing a few character sheets or a pad of character sheets, and some are good, some are bad. They're a bit hit and miss. This is something that is definitely usable. It's small enough, to be compact and easy for travel on a nice, neat little pad. Where those of us with eyes that may be starting to go south don't necessarily need to get the glasses out. But also, it's detailed enough where you can see the information that you need and write in what you need without it being over inundated with artwork. There's a lot of beautiful character sheets out there, but unfortunately kind of fall almost into the category of almost uselessness just because of the oversaturation of artwork over functionality within them. So, but yeah, these are excellent. I don't know, maybe about a couple dozen or so, but there you are. All right, on to the primary book here. So, Weird Stone and Sorcery Adventure Game by Diogo Nogueira, Primal Quest Essentials. So, obviously, it's dealing with dinosaurs. And those of you who, I believe it's currently on Cartoon Network, there's the Primal cartoon, the Primal series that has been going on for at least a couple of years now. I think it's on season 2 by Jendi Tartakov. I always get it wrong, Tartakov or Tartakovsky. I used to be, deep into that stuff, but it's, But yeah, so Jendi Tartakov or Tartakovsky. Whoops, apologies if, hey, it's A or B. So, but dinosaurs. I mean, who doesn't love dinosaurs in their role-playing game? What little child did not imprint upon these wonderful creatures when they were younger that hasn't lingered and lasted in one form or another, maintaining our interest and awe of these creatures? And for those of us who enjoy role-playing games, who at one point did not just want to inject, these beasts, these lizards, these creatures from beyond, these strange monstrosities that we only know of from museums and illustrations and drawings and horrible movies. But that's why they keep making those quote-unquote horrible movies, because we can't get enough of them. So here we are. We have the cover, nice little neat cover, red and gold there. And Primal Quest, red font on a black background, but I can read this because it's large and easy to read. It's when the words get relatively small here that for those of us with color blindness, that it makes it difficult. But even here, it depends on the tone of the color of red, the color red, as opposed to the black background. So even this I can read with relative ease, whereas some others, more so a lot of the Mothership books, and some of the Mork Borg adventures that, third-party ones, where the red just kind of bleeds into the background. All right, so what we have here? We have the preface. So I'll just go ahead and read this from Diogo. I have always been obsessed with dinosaurs. When I was a kid, I wanted a velociraptor as my pet. Dogs and cats seem so boring. But alas, you cannot get a velociraptor as a pet, nor as anything, I guess. That's why I made Primal Quest. Primal Quest was born from my passion for so many things. My passion for game design, which made me work tirelessly to create something that combined the spirit of the classic fantasy games that I love with the flexibility and dynamism, sorry, of contemporary game design. My passion for pulp fantasy stories with courageous and roguish characters that embark on apparently innocuous adventures to later find out that they, or even the world, are in grave danger. My passion for connecting the amazing people that I got to know because of gaming. I got to work with incredible people that are not only talented, but generous and love their work too. And finally, my passion for dinosaurs. Roar! I really believe this is my best work to date. I do hope you enjoy this game as much as I've enjoyed working on it. Dated May 19th, 2022, signed Diogo Nogueira. So there you go. That pretty much, in a lot better way, complements what I just said. Children, dinosaurs, they never leave. Once you see them, they tend to be with every single one of us from, the moment that we witness these wonderful creatures, whether it be as a cartoon, in a museum, in books, to the day we die. Nobody ever really truly gets bored of dinosaurs, even though the good people who keep on cranking out the Jurassic Park movies really try. So, all right. And here we are. So we've got a list here of his inspirations, quite a list here. Literature, the People That Time Forgot, The Land of Time Forgot by Edgar Rice Burroughs, and so on. We've got comics, Turok, Son of Stone, obviously based on the video game, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, of course, Commandy, of course. We've got movies, Jurassic Park. He only lists that one. Good. Brother Bear. Wow, that's one I didn't think of. The Ice Age franchise, Quest for Fire, and so on. Then we've got series, Jenny Tartakovsky, there we go, not Tartakov, Tartakovsky's Primal. The Mighty Mightor by Hanna-Barbera. Yes, that counts. We have games, Horizon Zero Dawn, Far Cry Primal, Primal Rage. I'm surprised you didn't list Turok in there. Maybe I'm too old or older. And continuing on, we've got a variety of RPGs, the Bone Age, Worm, of course, Hollow Earth Expedition, and so on. Okay, so what do you find in this book? You find a streamlined D6 rule system that gives you degrees of success, additional consequences, and narrative control with a single die roll. Okay, fair enough. Character creation rules that are quick, intuitive, and incredibly flexible, allowing the creation of distinctive characters. Rules for resource management, encumbrance, and durability that makes a gritty primal world come to life with complexity. Excuse me, a little dry. Okay. All right. Combat and healing rules that make conflict exciting and dangerous. Combat will not always be the wisest option. An open magic system. Oh, there's magic in here. Interesting. Encouraging creativity, ingenuity, and making sorcery powerful yet costly. And finally, we have rules for making the game easy to run. Improvised for and just fun for the referee. So the game takes place in the primal world of Thaia. And there's a link here that you can get the latest news about Thaia. So I'll throw that link in the description. And then here's a link for more character sheets if you need it. Want to make a Primal Quest compatible product? Of course you do. So here's continuing information here to get a hold of Diogo to utilize the license for that. And then we have the recommended use of safety tools with a link. Let's see here. The recommended use of safety tools. There's a hyperlink here with the within the core book itself. Obviously, the PDF would probably lead you to something. I don't really fault anyone for something like that. I don't really consider it an oversight. By now, everyone should know where to obtain some sort of safety rules if they decide to use that within their game. This obviously leads to a toolkit, but that's since this actual site isn't listed there. C'est la vie. You can go find your own. All right. So what is the game? How do we run this? So it's done by a test. So you roll a pool of positive dice and negative dice. You always roll at least one of each and may earn additional positive dice or negative dice as explained below. Subtract the highest negative dice from the highest positive dice and then add the appropriate attribute, obtaining a result. Okay, so cut to the chase. That's the rules. Those are the general rules, I should say, for conducting your tests within the role-playing game itself. So next up, we have a set of difficulty. Difficulty ranging from moderate of a 1 to 2 to legendary, which is a 6+. We have the effects. Effect is determined by subtracting the difficulty from the result. Effect of 0 higher is a success. The higher the number, the more accomplished the success. Here we go. How do we get extra positive dice in the game? You can receive more positive dice to roll on test, invoking a pertinent tag to their advantage. The tag can be their own, from a piece of gear, from the environment, from an opponent. Okay, so you just state, such and such, talk to your GM, does such and such earn me additional dice, and he will adjudicate accordingly. Having some tactical advantage, such as attacking from higher ground, flanking your opponent, or debating against something whose notes you perused. Okay. Nice and neat. This is definitely a rules like game, streamlined all the way through as far as I can tell. Obviously, it depends on when you get into the game, but I like what I see here. Extra negative dice. All right, so as a GM, we receive more negative dice to roll on test when there's a tag that applies negatively to the situation, either from the character, the environment, a condition they are suffering from. Okay? Some effects in the game impose negative dice, such as spells and powers, monster abilities, damage, or poorly crafted gear, and so on. Okay? And this game seems to utilize boons within it. When a character positive dice comes up a natural 6, they score 1 boon. Boons can be spent to generate benefits. Apply an appropriate stat to the test result. Grant an additional positive dice to their or another character's next test. That's good. As long as it's justified narratively, of course. Impose a negative to the opponent's test, as long as it's justified narratively again. Gain some insight about the circumstances, as long as it's justified narratively. And some other benefit that is independent of success or failure, as long as the referee approves. All right. I don't see here if anything about boons can be pooled, and if you have to spin the boon immediately. Okay, that's probably within the game, but I mean that's once again not that big a deal. Most people, like, if they're within the heat of a situation, will spend their boons accordingly. So, setbacks. When someone's negative dice comes up a natural 6, they score 1 setback. Setbacks can be spent by the referee to generate consequences. Apply an appropriate stat from the opposing side to the test results. Provide a positive dice to an opponent's test. Impose a negative to the character's test. Apply a negative consequence to the situation in accordance with the narrative. Next up, we have effort. Before rolling the die, a player can declare that they are making an effort. The player may sacrifice any number of vitality points to gain a positive dice on a 1-per-1 basis. If they sacrifice enough vitality points to drop below 0, the character falls unconscious and is dying. Okay, so we have boons within the game. We have a commodity within it also that can be spent as seen fit by the player. So yeah, there we go. So then we have character creation. So what makes up your characters within Primal Quest? Sorry, Primal is the cartoon. So if I call it Primal, I mean Primal Quest. Characters in Primal Quest live in mythical Stone Age. They are survivors ready to face any danger. So we have attributes. Assign 3 points among your body, mind, and heart. Body is strength, dexterity, endurance. Mind is perception, memory, and knowledge. And heart, willpower, charisma, and empathy. An attribute may be reduced to -1 to increase. An attribute may be reduced by -1 to increase an other attribute by +1. No attribute may start higher than +3. Okay. So you create 5 tags after you do that. Concept: who is their character? Where are they from? And so on. A talent: what's something that sets the character apart? What can they do? That's interesting. I like that. So there's not necessarily a set of skills. You decide what makes your character special. Motivation: what drives the characters forward? Is it honor, duty, and riches, and so on? Relationship: what's a close relationship the character has? What would the character do for them? Do they have an enemy? Okay, so the relationship could be positive or negative. That's cool. Trouble: what makes the character's life harder? Do they walk with a limp? Do they have an enemy? Okay, so you can flip-flop. So you have an opportunity to, move that enemy into either slot if you want to have an enemy. So carrying on, you begin with a sack. Choose one of the following options. So you have a variety of weapons, shields, and adventuring equipment. And they just seem to kind of run the gambit between the 3. So I'm trying to keep this brief. I don't want to sit here and, all of my videos tend to run long, and I don't want to, kind of go over this bit by bit. Mind you, this is not a review, so as usually people think they are. This is a first impression. I am just looking at this for the first time. So this is meant to be my general first impression, not a complete and detailed review of the game. Carrying on, we have a couple more stats. We have vitality, equal to 10 plus your body, depends on how hardy the character is, so I assume that's hit points. And we have defense, determined by armor and shield, determines how hard it is to hit the character in combat. So, all right, so even more details here. We have your name, your gender, your looks, your personality, and then carrying on, we have advancement. So it uses an experience point system, and you will earn experience points by fulfilling any of the following. Survive the game session. Yeah, there we go. Use a tag for the first time in the session. Okay, interesting. That's something I like, because a lot of people have these things to give them benefits within the game, whether it be a commodity like luck or effort and boons, especially if boons is not meant to be spent immediately, that you can, hold out of them for later or pool them. You get into the heat of the moment and, you tend to forget about these things. Classic example is Dungeon Crawl Classics. Luck is something that, in my experience, the GM constantly has to remind most of the players, hey, you've got this saying. Have you forgotten about it? Are you saving it? Do you intend to use it? But giving them a benefit within this game, using the thing like as a tag, which gives you benefits on top of everything else. You get experience points for using it for the first time. So it kind of gives you a little bit of extra incentive to remember to use it. Make an impactful mark on the game world. Make an ally, acquire an enemy, change the power structure, defeat a powerful enemy. You can earn experience this way multiple times each session. There we go. All right. So what can we spend these on, huh? To increase an attribute by +1, spend experience equal to the new score multiplied by 5. A minimum of 5 experience points. Okay. To acquire a new tag, spend experience equal to the current number of tags the character possesses multiplied by 3. Fair enough. And to change a tag or rewrite it, spend experience equal to the current number of tags that a character possesses. So, yeah, you're not going to be advancing quickly within this game, which but it's also very deadly, as stated by. If you survive, you get an experience point each session. So yeah, and it's not meant to be. I'm not making a complaint about you're not going to zippity do right up into the top echelon of Primal Quest as far as your player character is concerned, but it's going to be a struggle, and it's rightfully so. It's meant to be. This is a primal world. You are fighting tooth and nail to make your way against others, and I would imagine very, very dangerous and deadly creatures. Okay, let's see here. Just checking my camera. Everything looking good. Okay, carrying on. Okay, resources. Currency is non-existent, but you can barter. Everything is evaluated in quantities of resources that it is worth. There are 2 types of resources, food and water. Humans need 1 unit of water and food per day. These may be rare places like cities that use currency such as shells, beads, coins, and so on. 3 units of resources counts as 1 unit of encumbrance. And so what does encumbrance do to you? Characters can carry up to 10 plus body units of encumbrance comfortably. When carrying more than this limit, movement is reduced by half, and tests are made with 1 negative die. Okay? No one can carry more than 20 units. Unless otherwise noted, one item counts as 1 unit of encumbrance. Some smaller items may be bundled together, into 1 unit of encumbrance at the referee's discretion. Remember, 3 units of resources count as 1 unit of encumbrance. Very good. So 4 weapon categories: unarmed, small, medium, and large. Up to you to detail what these weapons look like, which I rather enjoy in quite a few games. Same with armor. And then we have shields: small, large, tower. And armor, unarmored, light, medium, and heavy. Okay, so we have a listing of adventuring gear, durability. So things within this game have durability points, and once again, I think that falls right well into a game like this. These are not created by master artisans of the craft. You are discovering these things, you are making these things on the fly, and they aren't meant to last. All right, so how does combat work? Time in combat and other action-orientated activities are measured in rounds lasting approximately 10 seconds. Combatants can normally take 2 actions every round. A round ends when every consultant has taken their actions and decided not to take them. Initiative can be defined by the referee in accordance with the fiction. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Some people like to roll for initiative. I don't mind it. I enjoy it. And other people just go, let's figure it out. What's the circumstances of it? That may make it move quicker. It may not, depending on if there's a discussion between the GM and his players as to who goes first and why. Movement. Combatants are in constant movement during a battle. To move between range, to move between range bands, a character must spend an action. Getting up, lying down, looking for an item in a character's sack, and other similar actions count as movement action as well. Characters can perform other small actions while taking a movement action for free, such as drawing a weapon and so on. Range bands. Okay, so that's where I was confused. Range bands is after this. So what are range bands? Let's see. Abstract distance in 3 general bands. We have close, a few yards away, far, further away than a few yards, and distant, further than a character can normally run. Okay, easy peasy. Attacking, slashing with an axe, crushing with a giant femur, firing a bow. Choose a target, make a body test with difficulty equal to the target's level or defense. The attack hits if the result is equal to or higher than the difficulty, otherwise it has failed. Damage is determined by adding the test effect to the weapon's damage. Okay. Defending, you can dodge, parry, or avoid attacks in many ways. Make a defense test with a difficulty equal to the attacker's result or level. The enemy's attack is avoided if the test is a success. If the test fails, the character suffers damage equal to the value of the negative effect plus the attacker's level or their weapon's damage. And you can also block. All right, so we'll skip that. Let's move on to healing. So what is healing? Healing must occur in a safe space where they can bind their injuries. So we have 3 types of rests here. We have a short rest. 10 minutes allows a character to regain 1d3 plus heart vitality points. Afterwards, the character must make a body test with a difficulty equal to the number of rests taken that day, or they can't benefit from another short rest until the next day. Okay. I mean, I do like that better than just, the spamming of the short rest button, which tends to occur in other games. Okay, so that's interesting. At least it's not something where you can just short rest. Let's roll to see if you can benefit it further within the game. So we have the long rest. Takes 6 hours and allows the character to regain 1d6 plus heart vitality points. It also allows for a test to recover from adverse effects, such as poison, illness, and other maladies. A character can only take 1 long rest per day. Okay, so long rest, you can take once per day, but you can also roll to see if you recover from certain effects. And then we have an extended rest. Takes roughly a week. Okay, characters regain all their vitality points and can make tests to recover from injuries and other maladies with a positive die. Fantastic. Dying. Okay, well, you're dead. What's there to say? No. Okay, when a character vitality reaches 0, they fall unconscious and will wake within an hour with a scar. Ask the player to describe it. When a character's vitality drops below 0, they are dying and must make a body test with a penalty equal to their current vitality. If they succeed, they fall unconscious and will wake up in an hour with a scar. If they fail, they are injured and will die in an hour if not healed. Okay, so we have sorcery. Let's see here. Character needs an arcane focus, so on and so forth. Character can't use a magic word to cast spells if they don't carry a respective arcane focus associated with it. So you play this game, you see a spellcaster, take out that arcane focus, and they will crumple. All right, so here are a few examples of possible magic words associated with with an arcane focus, and to associate an arcane focus with. Fire, ice, death, mirror, shadow, veil, ray, tree, spider, and so on. Let's see here. All right, so, okay, I should have focused again, but arcane focus. You must have a focus for each magic word. So it's not just like a magic wand that you're going to use, excuse me, oh boy, or a skull or a staff or whatever, femur. You have to have a different item for each word. So, the spellcaster within the game is going to be carrying quite a bit of stuff with them. But once again, they lose that arcane focus. There's no fire, claw, blade, or wolf if that thing gets destroyed or they lose it. Okay, so you describe the effect of the spell, explain how the arcane focus allows that effect. I like it. A lot of people just like, I cast it and there's just the effect described therein, but you spice it up. Spice up your spell casting. Everyone should be spicing up their spell casting. The referee determines if the effect is a cantrip, invocation, ritual, or miracle. The caster or any willing or helpless target that they touch can spend vitality to add a positive die to the test on 1-per-1 basis. Okay, then you make a mind test against the appropriate difficulty, and then you succeed or fail. All right, so cantrips. Mostly narrative effects, small flame, changing hair color, and so on. Base difficulty of 1. Invocation. Effect that can be reproduced by an individual with appropriate equipment, such as creating light equivalent to a torch, firing a magic arrow, and so on. Ritual. Effects that would require a group of individuals to create, such as bashing a castle gate open, building a temporary shelter, or shooting a fireball from a catapult. Okay. Excuse me. And then finally, we have a miracle, the truly extraordinary effects that cannot be reduced without magic or advanced technology, like becoming invisible, causing an earthquake, or making a meteor fall from the sky. So magic's not easy. It's not going to be slung willy-nilly. Miracles take 6 hours to cast, rituals 10 minutes, and an evocation a whole round. So yeah, you're going to want to protect your magic users within this game because even the invocation, they're not going to be doing anything until the second round of what they're going to be casting if you get into some sort of combat. Running the game, I'm not going to go over that too much. Let's see here. Diogo goes on to describe how to run his game, such as show the consequences of their actions for better or worse. The game world is alive and reacts to the characters. And always be fair. You're not playing against the characters, but you're not playing to help them either. You're a referee, a natural arbiter. Let the dice fall where they may, and so on. Advice like that. Luck tests. When in doubt about how things should unfold, ask for a luck test. The higher the result, the more favorable the outcome. The lower the result, the more unfavorable the outcome. And random encounters. Every 30 minutes of game time, roll a 1d6 to determine what occurs. Then we have opponents. All non-player characters are referred to as opponents. They have much simpler stats than characters. So, and their base stats are levels, how much damage they do, their vitality, and any special abilities. Reaction tests. So we have reaction tests within this game, which is excellent. Part of the old school play, which I enjoy. When in doubt about how an opponent reacts to characters, ask for a luck test. Use the result on the table below. So you make a luck test, and with that luck test, you have your appropriate reactions. And then we have the rate of exploration. Players can travel normally 24 miles per day, and so on, using a hexagonal map. Sorry. And see, each hex is 6 miles to the side and 12 miles across. Getting lost. When traveling through the lands, characters can get lost. Ask for a mind test. If the character is successful, they keep traveling. If they fail, they get lost and travel to a randomly adjacent hex, believing they are going the right direction. And finally, camping. Characters need to find a secure location to make camp. The referee may ask for a mind test for them to find one. Only one random encounter roll is made when the camp is in a secure location. Otherwise, make 2. So characters can take a long rest when the camp is in a secure location. Otherwise, they can only take short rests. All right, so then we have a mini hex crawl included within here called Mother's Veil. Spoilers. Obviously, I'm not going to go into any details. I'm just going to do a flip through of this. Let's just take a look at it. Of course, it's Diogo, so you know there's going to be a lot of attention to detail and focus on some really good artwork. So we have a very beautiful hex map here, and large too, considering these are 12 miles across. So you should get a lot of game time out of an introductory adventure. And once again, applause for including an introductory adventure within such a small game. A lot of people don't do that, and I don't care how big or how small it is. You should have some example of gameplay, something for your GM and your players to test out with the rules that are provided. So it goes on the list of different locations by number, along with random encounters within them. Notating, up here in the corner, how the hex looks within the map, so it should be easy to find. And continuing on, so we have 12 locations. What else is out there? Do you want to detail the context of a hex? Does anything in the map catch your attention? Create content for Primal as detailed on the first page. There you go. And then we close with the back of the book. All right, so that is the Primal Quest Essentials. It's got everything you need. I think Diogo's got another winner with this. It's very easy to follow. As I'm just reading through this, as a initial impression of it, I have a general idea of how the game plays. Something that I can kind of slap down with ease. Make some characters here and get up and running. And we have this introductory hex crawl that can go either which way you want. So this is essentially what I think he set out to do. He's created a weird stone and sorcery adventure game, rules light, but still maintaining the integrity of the type of games that he enjoys, i.e., OSR style games and dinosaurs. Now one thing I noted that might have been missing in here, and I could be, I'm not wrong, is as far as, is there examples of, yes, okay, so my mistake, there are, within the hex crawl, there are examples of different dinosaurs from the game. So there's not a bestiary within here, but that he does have examples of different NPCs or opponents, I should say, within here. That gives you a general idea of what these monsters would be and how difficult they are within their game, along with special abilities. So there's that. It's a shame there's no bestiary with some beautiful artwork to accompany it. But this is just an essentials book, and there are some things that you were able to get with it. So we'll take a quick look at those. But spot on. This is definitely something worth checking out. Obviously, it's once it gets to the table and gets a little bit more detailed and get a general idea. But as a first impression, if I pulled this down from a shelf at a game store and took a look at it, within a minute or two of just like flipping through it and reading some of the details, it would have gone directly into my bag and home to play with my friends and fellow gamers. So we have a couple of things that came with it. So just going to take a quick look at these because this video is running about 40 minutes long, but that's spot on for what I usually do. So we have a pamphlet adventure that you can get through Exalted Funeral to accompany Primal Quest. We have one called Witches Don't Die. Let's see here, and this is possible endings. So once again, I don't want to spoil it, but we'll just take a quick glance at it. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 event quest here, 5 event adventure with a for the game master thing and rumors to set it off, with a listing of the back of 1, 2, 3 possible endings. So that's going to get you through at least a session or two of Primal Quest. We also have the Demon from the Depths, which has 1, 2, 3, 4 locations within this map here, with 3 different possible endings. More detail for the game master, with an introduction to the players and how to reach the Isle, with 6 different rumors, and a D6 table of blessings from the Frog God, whoever that may be. And then finally, we have Paleo Faith and Pronto Religion in Prehistoric World, by Matthew Morris for Primal Quest. So what is this? Yeah, this is exactly what I thought it would be. A primitive esoteric ritual, ancient animism, prehistoric shamans, and the forgotten deities that made them thrive. This is primal belief. So creating gods and other deities within a variety of religions within Primal Quest that follow the scope and theme of the game. We have naming the gods. For example, you could name it Ka Morga Lor, which could be a wind elemental who utilizes a chaos domain and who has the rank of lesser god, the title of spirit, a form of an orb of light, and who may have a force of focus of dinosaurs. And then worshiping your gods. Where do you worship them? How do you worship them? A blessing from your gods. And then finally, we have additional details and actual effects. So, and then a nice little sheet here where you can record and create your deity, which I would assume you can download from online, probably. And there you are. And then with an advertisement for additional cosmogony, which I think I got. There's a couple things that accompany Primal Quest that either haven't arrived yet or something from Exalted Funeral. So I will look into that further. But just with these alone, I mean, you've got the core, which has its own hex crawl. You have 2 adventures. You have something here that your PCs can utilize to create deities and gods and forces of power and energy within the world of Thaia. Thaia. Jesus. Thaia. Glasses time. Thaia. But with just these 2 pamphlets and 2 thin booklets here, you've got yourself a decent sized campaign to run and enjoy Primal Quest and have what seems to be an excellent time, and with enough tools that if you feel there's certain things that might be missing with it, with relative ease you can create a variety of creatures, monsters, opponents within this game and carry this on for some time without it being overcomplicated and bogged down by rules that exist for other games such as this. So there we are. That is Primal Quest Essentials by Diogo Nogueira. And this begins the first video that I will be doing since I returned from Gen Con. There will be more to come here. Today is August 11th, so if you haven't noticed yet, set your calendar for August 14th, where I will be doing a live stream with Keith and Bud, Pookie, and Debbie, and maybe someone else might hop on and off. I don't know, as we go over our general impressions and our experiences at Gen Con 2022. So look forward to that. You can find the information to that on the Titterpigs Twitter. You can find it on the Titterpigs YouTube channel. I'll post a link here, as I always do, of course. And check this game out, Exalted Funeral. I don't know if they still have copies of it, but I can guarantee you if it's sold out, they will be getting more as soon as possible. And take a look at Primal Quest if it seems to be up your alley. Get your dinosaur on. So there we are. Once again, this has been yet another completely unprofessional unboxing. My name is Scott. Thank you for watching, and look forward to doing another video and see you all real soon. Take care.